Well, hello everyone. Happy Sensational Sunday. My name is Jen and welcome to my channel, Jen Gems and Vintage Finds. Today I'm going to do a live haul video with you and do a chit chat today for my sale on Tuesday, April 29th at 1 p.m. Hi, Christy. How are you? Good to see you, my dear. For my live sale on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Karen. I'm by myself, you guys. So if you see me doing this, my camera's here, computer's over here. So just let everybody know. I don't have a phone. Everybody usually uses phone. I use a webcam. So I'm going to do a live haul today for my Tuesday sale. So it should be fun. If you will have some chit chat time, we're going to do that as well. I want you guys just out of after I get done today, my friend Dina Marie is going to come on later. Dina's that girl, Dina Marie, she's going to do some costume jewelry sale tonight. So she just had her normal time slot tonight, but she's got some, hi, Leslie. She's got some costume jewelry things she wanted to go through tonight. So she's going to do a twofer today, which is kind of nice to see. She's getting a little rushed right now. So go check out her channel a little later tonight. Hi, Karen. And let's see. Let's see. If you're new here, welcome. I know most of the people are. I've got 5 people here and 1 thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Jen. I've been hard at work. Proof of a good reseller is look at their fingers. Look. Worn, polished. Look at this. I have no nails. Okay. I work in an ER. So you guys know I have clean fingers, right? See the yellow? I've been acid testing, scrubbing jewelry all last 3 days in a row. So needless to say, I've been really busy making sure everything is beautiful, pretty for you guys to see everything. I do work hard. Let's just get that straight. I do work full-time job at a hospital, but I also do work full-time at doing this job. So, and I don't consider this really, it is a full-time job here, but I have fun with this. This is my passion. This is what I went to school for. This is what I did for a long time. But I also do have passion for the patients at the hospital as well. Let's get that straight too. So what I tried to do is to bring you guys some unusual things from all price points. And I try to do that very effectively, I think, between glass pieces, sterling pieces, gold, and then some unusual pieces, sometimes some trinkets, some other things like that. So if you guys are looking for something in particular and if you want something for me to hunt for you for, please send me an email. I pin my email to the top of the chat, jensgemsfinds@gmail.com. Hi, Bruce. How are you? Of course, any of you guys here, can you guys also share Karen's channel? Karen Vintage Montreal. I haven't made her blue yet, but I'm going to do that. If you guys can share your links and also share Dina's link, that would be awesome. I'm by myself, and if I do that, I promise I'll lose the feed. And there's a thunderstorm warning in our county right now, so I'm very gracious to even get on here. But let me get through some things. So yeah, if you're new here, welcome. We have a really good time. I usually do my hauls a little bit differently than maybe a lot of resellers do. I like to come on and chit chat with all of you. I think it's a really good way to interact with you, as well as to answer questions along the way. I don't typically get into specifics about pieces that I show for my haul, but I will give you a very good viewing of it. I always suggest that you can send me an email at my email that I pin at the top, jensgemsfinds@gmail.com. And all these pieces that I'm showing you now are something that are going to be coming up on Tuesday. Okay. I don't pre-sell my items at this point. I do that for a couple of reasons, but mostly to make it fair right now for everybody. Until maybe if I get bigger or if I start a membership plan or something like that, maybe I will. But as of right now, I don't. So what that means is I don't pre-sell items. So it makes it fair for everybody to look at something. And if they have any questions, they can send me an email. If you cannot be here physically on Tuesday for an item that you see in this haul that I want to show you, you can always send a silent bid to me or via email. Okay. So what that means is if you see something, I will give you the starting bid. I will give you the price via an email. And if you like that piece, you can leave me a silent bid and I will put your name on that item. And when we get to it on the live sale come Tuesday, I will say that there's a silent bidder on this item. And so that we just bid in increments like we do for everybody else. You're just not here. That's all. It's not a big deal. I also have people do that who just want to remain anonymous, not want to be in a chit chat while everything's going on. So I work with everybody, whatever the situation is. So if you're not registered, we need to have your information. I also do live giveaways on Tuesdays on my show. We send those out to you promptly with everything else. So we would need your name, your YouTube name, your complete mailing address, your phone number, and your PayPal information. We do our billing through PayPal. We bill right away at that evening after the show. Usually it's later in the evening because I do, if you're familiar, I do my lives at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So for those of you who do work a regular job, or people want to look at my videos later and think on something, they can always send me an email and add to their order before we do invoicing early the next morning. My husband, Joe, is my partner as well as my husband. And he does all the invoicing, the packaging, and answering your emails while I'm working at the hospital. So give kudos to Joe. Give him a thumbs up too. So for those of you, please give me thumbs up. I've got 11 of you here and 4 thumbs up. So hopefully you guys can give me some thumbs up right now. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It's free. And it also will tell you and hit all notifications. It also will let you know when I go live, such as this. And that way you'll be notified of when I do go on. I'm at, I think as of today, 747 subscribers. So I passed the 7-Eleven slushy slump, and now I'm up to the 747 big Boeing jet. So I like hit the weird numbers, but that's just where I'm at as of today. So I'm at 747. I'm trying to get to 1,000. We'll get there. I'm not worried about it. It will happen. It will happen. I'm just going to take every subscriber as special to me and Joe, and you guys are friends and family to me and to him. So we appreciate all of you. I want to catch up on the chat a little bit. I want to say hello to the people I've missed because I'm doing this by myself. Hello, Miss Amy. I'm going to make sure you're blue as well. I will do that after the feed today. If I do it now, I literally will probably lose the chat. So I'm going to make sure I give Karen's channel. And yes, if you guys can share, if you did Karen's, if you guys did Amy's as well, can you share Amy's channel? Hello, Jewelry Friend. She's starting her channel, and I really, truly appreciate her friendship and support to the channel as well. All right, so let's go into it. I've been hard at work, and again, like I said, I've been really excited. We're going to have everything under the sun come Tuesday. I want to just start out with just this necklace, okay? Let me move the camera. I've got things all over the place here, so let me see if I can do this. If you guys have any questions, please ask me. But again, this is just a haul. I do this every week. For those of you who are watching the show, okay, another thing. Anything you see behind me on my set back here, these are things that I've already shown previously to today, okay? So if you are interested and you watch any of my videos for my previous sales and you're interested in anything, hey, Jenny, tell me about this beautiful embossed Taxco, beautiful, probably 1940s necklace. I can tell you about that. If you want to know about the garnet necklaces I have behind here, if you want to know about the sage pieces I have behind here, I can get you knowing anything that I have. Okay. The only thing is those are first come, first serve because I've already shown these on my shows previously. What I'm doing today is hauls. Okay. So this is something you have to wait till Tuesday to bid on. Okay. So I just want to make that clear because sometimes people get confused and say, what's the situation and all this kind of thing. So when I do the hauls, this is just what's going to be coming up for Tuesday. Then you got to wait till Tuesday to bid on those pieces. Okay. Again, if you can't be here, send me a silent bid and I can work with you. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me move my things around here. I'm not used to doing this all on myself, but I'm going to try to do the best I can. Hello, Marche. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Good to see you and happy Sunday to you. All right. Let me see if I can try to get this a little bit more. Again, this is a large piece. Okay. This is a really cool piece. This is something usually a little bit out of the box for me to typically find, but I did find this locally, believe it or not, in Florida, actually down the road. This is what they call a vintage modernist horseshoe nail pendant necklace. Okay. And what these are actually little, let me show you. They're actually got the little nails to horseshoes and they make jewelry out of it. And this is all articulated. Just really, really fun. I mean, just something that I've never seen before. Now, it does have this kind of a modernist, this is a more modern clasp here, but it's all about the design of this because they take nails and then they bend them. And just really, really funky and cool. So I didn't know anything about it until I did research about it. And these typically go from anywhere from about $85 to about $150. I'll be honest to you, online. You can find the cheapest one, and that's typically what they sell for. So I had no idea. I just thought it was funky. I thought it was fun. I don't know, something that typically don't. This is just made, it's not sterling. It's just like a base metal. I don't know, you know, but look at how they wire wrap this whole thing together. This is articulated. So just fun. And it's 21 inches long to here. And then it has another, I didn't measure this part, probably another 4 inches there. But just something fun. This is not something I typically pick up, but I know I have some viewers that like unique things. And this is something that fits the bill. All right. So let me just put that one aside. I'm going to take that one down. That's just coming. And that's something I had to pick that one up. That was really cool. Okay. All right. Now, come Tuesday, this is just a sample, okay? Because what I found when we did this the other day, it did take up a lot of time on air. I have a lot more earrings than this. However, what I do is I typically get them cleaned up, put them on cards so you guys can see 12 pairs of earrings at one time, okay? So again, these are all sterling silver in this box, okay? So in here we have sterling silver, mother of pearl dangles. We're going to have carnelian, amber, amber, turquoise. Let me see if I can do this up close. Okay. We're going to have garnet. This is garnet. Inlay, sodalite, malachite, and onyx. Tiger's eye. I have some liquid silver. I've been polishing for the last 4 days. If you can't tell by my fingers, look at this, acid testing and everything. Look at these. I think these possibly could be Hopi. The inlay turquoise Thunderbirds. If you guys didn't know, I went on a little buying spree. I think if you watch Dina's show today, she kind of mentioned it. I talked to her on the phone. Look at these. And then these are Barse. And I have a lot of Barse earrings. This is just one pair of them. Okay. So I'm going to be doing some earrings. So if anybody's looking for earrings, this is going to be coming up on Wednesday. Then who am I missing? I miss Katie. I missed Jen. My bookend is here. Hello, Colette. Hello, Merche. Said hello to y'all. This is just a haul. Again, this is just to show you what I've done. So I try to keep organized. I know that's maybe that's a blessing or not, but I try to, so that way you guys come in and say, oh my gosh, look at that. That's just 12 pairs. Okay. I've got more things here. I just try to put things out in a way that you can see a whole bunch of things at one time. And you can see it all that. Now that's earrings that I had done. Now we move to rings. Look at this. I have 36 rings in this box. So you guys were here last week when I had a whole bunch of 30 of rings that were filled in the box, right? So I bought 112, I think it was 112 rings on my buying trip. Okay, so here we go. We got some more in here. Okay, this gives you a sampling of what's going to be coming up on Tuesday. So in here, you're going to see, this is emerald. This is J. King turquoise. This is crystallized thulite. We have Ethiopian opal and tanzanite. This is amethyst. This is a cha-cha ring here. Then over here in second row, this is a CZ, multiple color CZ. I love this ring. Look at how much silver is in this ring. It's an eternity ring. I believe this is a size 10. People ask me for larger sizes, and when I went through my inventory, what I bought, they're in here now. So I did put the larger sizes. I don't know what each one of these are at this time, but needless to say, I will let you know. We have multicolored gem. This is a Taxco ring. This is another, I believe, Taxco ring. This is another eternity ring with all synthetic rubies. Hi, New England. If I'm missing, hi, Shell Bell. Hello, everybody. If you guys aren't aware, Tanya's not going to be on tonight. Her and Doug were at the show today doing it. So, but Gina is going to be doing a costume jewelry blowout for channel tonight too. So I'm just doing my live haul, and then she'll be coming on in a little bit. So just to let everybody know. This is Ethiopian opal and chrome dioxide. The Mystic topaz. This is Bars multi-gem. Look at this big old thing. You want to put a ring on it? Imagine if this was a diamond, people. Look at that. Woo, sparkle, sparkle. All sterling. Everything in here is sterling, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to get in there. Multi-gem there. We have this one is signed. This is Native American. This is signed, I forgot, Nakai, Nakai. Over here, this is also signed. This is Mother of Pearl. And this one is signed, let me remember, L Nota, Notah. Okay, I'm just going through these so you guys can see what I got going on, okay? We have a spider ring. People have been asking me for spiders. I found a sterling silver spider ring. Tanzanite and Ethiopian opal. Look at this beautiful rhodolite garnet blue topaz. And then we have a guilloche ring. Okay. Jade. This is ametrine. What is ametrine, Jenny? Tell me what about ametrine. Well, ametrine, if you look at it, I can try to get this. Let me put this down for a minute. I'm sure most of you guys know what that is, but now for some of you who are new, I will certainly explain it to you. You guys see purple is the amethyst, and then the part of the top, if you took a line and drew a straight right there, you see that? That's citrine. Very expensive. So basically, it's all in the quartz family. So part of the stone is citrine, and part of the stone is amethyst. Isn't that cool? Very expensive, too. If you haven't shopped for ametrine, it's very expensive. Okay, let me go back to the tray so you guys see the rest. Okay. I believe that this is glass, but it's a very old ring. I just thought it was cool. Again, when I went to this place where I got these from, think of this was in a big box. Okay, so I had to pick up the litter of what was here, and I was focused on gemstones. Okay, last week I had some sterling, which I still have some sterling of those pieces left. So if you weren't here last week, I probably have it. This is black and white diamonds. This is aquamarine. We have peridot here. Another sterling silver, kind of a signet ring. This is moonstone. And for those of you who love mermaids, this has mermaids on the side. We can do that real close. Maybe not. Everything going on. Little mermaid lady. Like that. All right. Then we have tanzanite. I believe this is tanzanite. Yeah. Oh, no, this is iolite. This is iolite, I believe. Iolite. Then we have a kind of scrollwork design. This one, now, how many of you have seen red diamonds in your lifetime? Probably not too many. However, this is red diamonds. Rarest color of anything in nature is red. Red diamonds, if this were natural, this is irradiated, okay? Just like blue diamonds. I'm sure you guys have had rings that have blue diamonds in it, right? This is red diamonds. And very uniquely, they have paired it up with a beautiful piece of abalone. I just love that combination. I thought it was really pretty, unique, and you don't see red diamonds. Okay, so I got that. And then this last one is a beautiful opal right there. So I'm just showing you, this is 36 rings. I still have more rings to go. Okay, so I usually bring on an overwhelming thing because when I go through this on Tuesday, everybody's going to say, oh, what size is this? What size is that? So it gets a little time consuming. So I try to make it to like easy. So we try to work with it. I just try to give you guys a sneak preview of what's going to be coming up. Okay. So there you go. That's the rings. And let me move that out of the way. I still got things in here. So I'm trying to keep these hauls relatively quick, but I mean, there's just so much to get to. I don't even know that's why I have people ask, Jenny, how do you do 4 or 5 hour shows? Well, typically, because I only do one show a week, and you guys are always asking me for a lot of things. So I try to jam as much as I can in the amount of time I have. And we go from there. So I'm just going to pull out a couple things. I have everything in this tray from glass to costume to sterling. I'm just going to pull out a few things and then we'll do some chit chat. Okay. Where do I start? I don't know. No idea. I get so overwhelmed because it's like a girl in the candy store trying to figure out where I go. All right. Okay. I've got a few people. I got some costume people here, so let me show you. Swarovski crystal, red glass with the swan mark. These are pierced. Katie, their sizes on the rings are all different, my dear. There's no size, if there was something that caught your eye, honey, anybody can send me an email. I will specifically answer your question. So if you have a screenshot, took a screenshot of what we just went through rings, if there's something you like, let me know which one, and I will give you all the information on it off air, okay? That makes it easy because that way we just go from there. But I will tell you, people who are looking for the larger sizes, whatever large sizes I have are in that tray. Because I did go through the rest of them when I got home. I brought Brighton. This is Brighton. Beautiful glass costume gold tone. Brighton. I'm just going to highlight a few things, okay? Another Brighton. Did I miss anything? Okay. Oh, and this is reversible Brighton. I like this one because this one got a little pattern of a sun on one side. And then if you want to dress it up, you just flip over your necklace and you go out and you have a little bit of bling. Wear this to the office. You wear this every day. You just flip it around, you just turn it around, and it does have an extender. So if you want to wear it a little longer, this is also Brighton. These are retired pieces of Brighton too. I've never been but it has been, as far as me picking it up, if I find a good price, I'm going to bring it to you. Okay. All right. Here we go. Look at this one. This is fun. Brooch people. Little pom-pom. Here's the back. Like a French jet. This is, I believe. I just thought it was fun. Something you don't see all the time. And it's a large brooch. Look, you can wear this. I've got my leopard print on today, but or put on your hat. Imagine that on your jacket or your anything, or hat. I just liked it. It's cool. Let's see. All right. I've got more. Let me show you the highlight of the beads. So I know I have my glass people that love my glass. So this is what I picked up. Look at this. Look at these beads. Almost like this is all on the outside of the glass. Let me do a close up here. Hold on. I got to get focused. Come on, focus. There you go. So you kind of have this faceted glass pieces. And then you have these that have all this embellishment and all these different colors of glass fused onto the glass beads. And there's a little pull of the string, but it is old. The actual filigree part of the clasp is silver, but the other tongue part that goes in is not sterling. I tested both parts of the clasp. I test everything, as you can tell by my fingers, okay? So it's beautiful. Beautiful. Something you don't see all the time, but if you are a glass connoisseur and you like your glass pieces, that is definitely unique. Okay. I have 2 pairs of Swarovski crystal earrings. I want to show you these 2 strands. These are not marked, but I believe that these came most likely, this screams to me like somebody made these handmade like in an art show. Okay. How it's put together, and I'm going to go through it with you. Okay. Look. Something you don't see all the time for sure, because somebody took the time to make it. You've got, look at these beads. You've got this, and look at the unique cut of this one at the bottom. Lamp work, bead, sterling silver, pearls in here. This is all put together. Now you've got these beads. Look at these leopard. I match my shirt. Then you've got these embellished beads, almost like with like a little wedding cake, I guess, but doesn't have the band around it that most people call it the wedding cake. I don't want to use the wrong terminology. More pearls, and it comes up to this fabulous. All this is sterling, and look at the toggle. So you can see that somebody really knew what they were doing. I mean, look at that. This is all hand pounded. Took the time for the design of this piece. So I'm trying to get it focused. There we go. Has a little hammered, the top. This is all handmade. I mean, when you look at it, it just screams to you. Handmade chain. I just like, that's the one, that's brown. Now the one I have in my shop today is the other one I picked up. Also sterling silver. This one has more of the blue and purple teal colors. A lot going on this one. So I don't think she's here right now, but Leslie from Black Dog Vintage, she used to be a glass maker. And she, I mean, look at this bead. Look at how much work has gone into that one bead. And you've got beads down here. You've also got Keshi pearls in here. So you've got the Keshi pearls are freshwater pearls. Those look like almost like little peanuts. Okay. Then you've got some glass, the little AB glass beads. And I'm just going to take you up on a tour, because as you go up the necklace, you're going to see more things going on. You see more of those Keshi pearls, freshwater pearls. And then you get to these more, look at these more glass beads. All hand done. Like I said, this isn't signed by anybody, but look at the beads. All hand done. And now look at this chain. This is vintage chain. This is all sterling silver chain here. Okay. All hand wired, all hand done. And it just keeps on going up this necklace. And it gets more, these beads just get more phenomenal as you go. Okay. And then you get up to the top. Toggle clasp and bead there. So if you look at the design, they're a little bit different as far as between the first one and the second one. I believe is probably done by the same artist, because the concept is the same. It's just a different color palette. No signature, but it's a phenomenal piece of jewelry. And I just think it's beautiful. Okay. All right. Now I know some of you guys are here, the true. What do I have for all my stone people? What do I have for all of my stone people? Well, would it be any show at Jenny's channel without having beggars beads? Well, I picked up another strand of beggars beads. These are the big ones. Big ones. Large material. This is 55 inches long. Okay. I got beggars beads. Which I still got more in the back too, if you wanted some of our smaller strand, but you guys want the bigger ones, so I find them for you at a reasonable price. Let me see. I did find this. Am I going to show the tiger's eye necklace? I'm going to show you the, well, actually, this is my necklace, Karen, but I do have a tiger's eye necklace. Yes, I'm going to show you that. I did pick up a fabulous tiger's eye necklace. Let me get this on the bus for you guys to see. This is J. King. It is amber and turquoise. 5 strands. Let me get this hooked. Ooh. Look at that. Beautiful. Amber, turquoise, 5 strands, J. King. J. King has this patented signature clasp, has a puffy heart at the back on this on the extender. It's 18 inches long and it has a 3-inch extender. So this does glow. It is natural amber turquoise. J King. Beautiful. All right, let me show you the tiger's eye. Karen wants to see the tiger's eye. Where did that one go? That one's in here too. I've got lots of things this week. Now, here we go. So what I'm wearing, as everyone can see, this is the traditional color of tiger's eye, right? The brown, okay? However, tiger's eye can be multicolored, which is right here. You want a bigger one than mine? You can own this one. So you have the brown, you have the red, you have the blue, and a sterling silver clasp with an extender with little tiger's eye at the back. These beads, let me give you the length on it just so everybody can see. 17.5 inches long, but it does have the additional 2.5-inch extender in the back. These go from 10 millimeters here in the back. This largest one at the bottom is 20. Okay. Very hard to especially find the red and the blue. Okay, so I know everybody can see the brown and knows what that is, but some people are like, I've never heard that tiger's eye can be different colors. Well, this one is. It's really beautiful. The chatoyancy, that's the word we use, chatoyancy, okay, in the stones. Plus, these are faceted. Okay. It does, yeah, well, that's your bracelet right here. Okay. Let's see. Now, this is a very special piece. Very special piece. Okay. I will disclose it's old. It's going to need probably a new restringing because you'll see in why, because you see on the sun little knot here. This is very old carnelian. Okay. And to find carnelian this size, which these are 14 to 18 millimeters, is very rare. Okay. This does have a sterling clasp in the back. It's a hook clasp. Okay. And you will see the old ones, typically that come from Tibet. You will find if you do some research on this. That's why I give you guys these hauls to kind of give you a couple days to look up things. Okay. You will find these that typically came from Tibet, and you'll find the ones that have zoning in them. That's what we call this. We call this kind of color banding or zoning. Okay. And what you're seeing is a reflection of my ring light right there in the little circles. But that's probably why it's also old. That's why this needs to be restrung. Okay. But again, these go from 14 to 18 millimeters. Very, very unusual to find beads this size. Just be fair. This weighs, if you put this on a scale, approximately 850 carats of carnelian. Or 170 grams if you guys know more with sterling weights and things like that. But in gemstones, we wear in carats, right? But it's very, very cool necklace. It's not going to be inexpensive, but if you guys, I bring things to the show that gets you guys excited and say, oh my gosh, what is that? This is gonna, like I said, it's going to need a little restringing, but do your research on how much an 18 millimeter carnelian necklace would cost you if you could find the beads, and you guys will be as shocked in how much those cost. Okay, you'll see it's a fraction of what it is, because I also take in consideration you're going to have to get it restrung. I don't do restringing. I know some of you do, so we put it out there. Okay, moving on. I did find gold this trip. Hi, Nancy. Who am I missing so far? How you doing? Hi, Christina. I'm just doing a live interactive haul. Make sure everybody gets me some thumbs up. I've got 14 people here and 12 thumbs up. So hopefully you guys, hi, Suzanne. How are you, my dear? Okay. So I did find 14 karat gold this week. I've got this set of earrings, and I've also got a 10 karat sapphire ring in a second. All right. 14 karat gold. If you have not come to my channel about how I do gold pricing, you guys probably think I'm insane. I try to keep my gold pricing with the cost of gold. Now, some people might say, I'm going to hoard as much gold as I want, right? I look at the analogy that if I can get you a good price on a piece of gold, you're going to try to come back and say, Jenny, please try to find more gold for me. Because how I do my pricing, and I'm very transparent about that. Okay. Unless it's a signed piece such as Cartier, Tiffany, something along the lines of that, that's a whole different avenue. But if it's something unusual, I typically just put this on the scale, which I did. And this weighs approximately 1.5 grams of 14 karat gold. This is kind of a cool little set of earrings. Again, like a little texture to them. What I do, I'm transparent about everything. That's what I do on my channel. That's my channel. I do what I want. Okay. But you guys can go to Scrap Gold Calculator. It's a website. Type in Google, search Scrap Gold Calculator. 14 karat gold, you put in the engine and tell me I'm looking at 1.5 grams of 14 karat gold. You will get a price approximately about anywhere from about $90 to $100 right now. Okay. I put in a little few extra dollars for my time to go find these things for you, to clean it up for you, to make sure it's gold, my time as well. And I pretty much sell it for almost a little bit over scrap, because I know that you guys are going to phenomenally love this. And you say, oh my gosh, Jen, really? That's what you do? I said, yeah, I can double this, triple this, whatever I want to do, but I don't, because that's the way I do, because I share the love with everybody here. And so if I can give you a luxury piece of jewelry at a fraction of what you would go pay in a department store, that's what I'm going to go do for you. So just to keep that in the back of your mind, because when we bring this up come Wednesday, or excuse me, comes Tuesday, you're going to say, really? I can get a pair of gold earrings for that price? That's what I do. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you send me an email, I'll give you the starting price, and you're going to be like, what? So that's what I do. Now, with that in mind, I had a ring last week that I sold, which was, again, the same type of concept. This is a 10 karat gold. Hold on a minute. 10 karat gold. This is synthetic sapphire, blue sapphire, and diamond ring. Probably circa late 80s, early 90s on this. Still in wonderful condition. Probably has my fingerprint on it. I'll wipe that off. Let me get that. See if I can wipe that off real quick. Hold on. Let me get it. Okay. This is a size 7. Okay. But 10 karat solid gold. There's a couple little diamond accents in here, but isn't that beautiful? So sapphire is second hardest substance known to a diamond. So this could be an everyday ring if you want it to be. Just to give everybody a heads up. Okay. But that will be coming up for sale. That's another piece of gold that I have. Okay. Moving on. Have I wet everybody's whistle yet? Are you getting excited? All right. For my native people, as I call them, or Native American people or Southwest people, I have a couple necklaces here. Quite frankly, I don't feel confident in what the stones are as calling them turquoise. However, this is liquid silver. The chain is silver. This looks like to me resin. When I do put this on the Presidium, it does not leave the glass range. Okay. So I'm going to have this necklace, and I'm going to have, and these are old. I can tell because the patinas on these are crazy. I have this one. Now, this is coral and shell. Okay. Again, these kind of class. So these will be up for sale. Okay. I got a good deal on these. You're going to flip out when I tell you how much these are going to be. Just let you know. All right. Because the way I look at this turquoise, it has like this, like, I don't know. It just isn't feeling like I can definitely call it. I like to see more matrix in it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So anyway, but it is sterling silver. I did test the beads. Okay. Now, somebody, I don't know if she's here, somewhere along the line, somebody said, Jenny, can you find Heshi shell, puka shell, that kind of thing? You find it, please pick it up for me. Well, there you go. Look at this 16-inch long puka shell necklace. These are very expensive, believe it or not. Puka shell. And you think that was rare. Same time I got that one, I got a bracelet. That's more of an orange color. Not sterling class on either one. But these are very expensive, believe it or not. I had, but somebody asked me to find them, I will. Okay. So I got that. And then the last one that I kind of go that kind of grouping of things, I got this. I've talked about this before. This is beautiful. I like this. Unusual. Oh, maybe I got it flipped around. No, this one. This is mother of pearl, angel skin coral, and Balamudi, which is these beads right here. Balamudi mother of pearl. Okay. What is Balamudi mother of pearl? It's the inner lining of a mollusk that gives you this beautiful sheen, orient, and what we call them pearls. And you come down to this. More mother, like I said, mother of pearl, and the way that they've done this. Very unusual. So if you like unusual things, that's what I try to find for you guys. And this is angel skin coral in the middle, chips. Isn't that cool? Am I missing anybody? Oh, you love your emerald ring? Oh, good, Nancy. I'm glad to hear that. Did you love your earrings? I'm so happy you love that. Did I ever show you, Nancy, that there's a matching ring to that too? If you want me to bring it out, I will. I don't have it out right now, but I do have a matching ring. I think you saw my gold. Like I said, guys, I'm very, very fair when it comes to my gold prices. Okay. Let's see. Everybody's looking for jade. You already have one? Okay. Lavender jade. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Katie, for that. As you guys, I've been testing and testing all week. That's what I've been busy doing that. That's why I might have fingers that look like this. Acid from my sterling silver test. So yeah. And look how I try to, I'm like any other woman in this probably chat that try to keep, okay, I want ladylike and everything. I mean, these are my nails. Like you can see how much I've been testing. They're rubbed raw because I've been cleaning between testing and cleaning jewelry. I've been working hard for all of you. Okay. All right. So look at this beautiful jade. Okay. Let's see. What else am I bringing to this show? I have this match set. I don't know if she's still here or not, but I did get this Omega from Beth from Turtle Shell. Or Turtle Shell Beth. It's an Omega necklace. Oh, hold on. It was in a bag. There we go. And I found a slide. Red enamel and black slide. Okay, so I have that. And I found matching earrings to go with it. I just like the color combination. Okay, so I had the Omega before and I put the slide on it. And it's very happy now. All right, what else? What else can I rock your socks off with that I have in here? Did I get to this last week? I don't think I did. Some of the things I never even got to last week. You guys had me going all over my set, pulling things down for you all. Did I show you that? Pearls, carved mother of pearl. You're gonna have an extender. Pretty. Like a hibiscus flower. Okay. What else? Oh. Suzanne, I did get you some glass. I did show a couple of things. Let's see what else I have in here. I have a KJL brooch. Bruce, I don't know if you're still here. You're interested in something like this. I don't know, but Maltese cross. Okay, signed KJL on the back. I'll show you in a minute what this has. This has an extra feature. Okay, JL right there. And there's a Maltese cross, and this little centerpiece moves. So you flip it. So you can have the little etching there, and you say, oh, I feel a little glamorous now. I'm going out to eat. You just flip it down, and boom. Isn't that cute? It's a big, and it's a signed KJL piece. Sorry, I'm trying to get it focused. There you go. Gold tone. Okay. What else I got, Bruce? We got a lot of. I've got milk glass. Suzanne, I don't know if you're a milk glass collector or not. I don't know. This is in here. Did I show this? I don't know if I showed this last. I don't think I did. This tray usually has the things I don't show. Huge long strand of milk glass. Okay, we got that one. And then I have this one. This one has color in it. There's the class, old class. I know we just had Easter, but oh, that was pretty glass. Okay. You guys always ask me for long glass, so I always find it. As I try to. Let's see. Oh, I have this. Want more bling? Let's see if I put it up a little bit like this for you guys to see versus me. Little rondelles, AB, double strand. It does have the extender in the back, like that. Okay, Christy, thank you for coming, my dear. Yeah, if you see anything you like, my dear, send me an email, and I will be happy to talk. But good to see you. Thank you for coming. Let's see. I think that's pretty much what I got going on in here. Did I miss anything? Yes. Oh, and then over there, I don't know if anybody is looking for things, but as far as like resellers, or even if it's your own personal thing, I have a lot I'm going to do a lot. It's a 25 ring costume lot. They're all different sizes. But I'm really going to sell them. Like, you're going to get 25 rings for a really good price. I'm also going to have a tray of brooches that I'm going to start at a phenomenal price. It's going to be a hybrid or gets choice. I still have my 40-piece costume tray over there. I've got craft lots. If you guys are looking for craft lots, they are here. I also can get into more things behind me if you see something you like, such as sterling rings, Taxco pieces, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have more here. I just don't want to save some for Tuesday. So do you guys have any questions right now for me? I'm here to chat with you. If you're not, like I said, I know my friend Dina is going to come on and probably, I don't know what time. She hasn't had a set time. She's waiting for me to get done. And then she's going to have a costume sale tonight. So if anybody's looking for costume jewelry, such as, I know she's doing a lot of clip earrings, as well as some pierced earrings. She's going to sell things for really, really inexpensive prices. So we're going to go to that girl, Dina Marie, tonight. And she's probably going to be on probably within the hour, I would guess. She wanted to just rest for a little bit after she got done at 5. And then she said she was going to come on a little bit to do see all you guys. So thank you, New England Charm. That is very sweet of you. Like I said, I have things behind me in the set. If you guys saw something, I always let some of the people here, I think you guys know, do I get Cartier, Katie? Sometimes I do. I don't have a Cartier, but I have, look at this. It's still here, believe it or not. This is Tiffany. Probably circa 1920s Tiffany. This is what they call a dancing purse. This is engraved or monogrammed, I gotta say. And I'm going to show you in a minute. This was my mother's. It wasn't her personal thing. My mom always loved antiques, and so she acquired this along the way, and she's allowed me to sell it for her. Okay, so she picked this up and does have some dents. This is like this has some love. Over probably 100 years old. Okay, and I believe that this weighs. I forgot the weight, but when I opened this up, actually, when I did a live haul a few weeks ago, this goes over probably a few months now, but I did not know until I looked right here. Look. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Hold on. Right there, you see Sterling D2639. And on this side, and you guys were here. For those of you who saw that when this happened to me, you knew my reaction. I had no idea. Had none idea. I didn't even see it. If I can get this. Well, that's this. Let me kind of go this way. Me and the camera have a love-hate relationship, I think, when it comes to camera work. Right there. So we can get that close. Tiffany and Company. Oops, sorry. So just look at the leather. Look how old this is. They have redone this case now with more, since then this probably was made. There's different versions of this type of case, more involved, ones with more hand engraving, things like that. But it is still here. If you're interested in something, a piece of history, this is something I have for sale. It looks like it's an MC and an O. I don't know. What do you guys think that is? I think it's an MC and an O. But it is a Tiffany. It weighs over 100 plus grams. I think that's the last time I remembered. But it has a paperclip chain. So I do find things, I do get things. This happened to be a family. Something was in, my mom got this with someone along the line, and she says, I have a use for it, so I want to pass it on to one of you guys. So I have a very fair price on that. If you do your comps on something like that, Tiffany and Company, I do get some Tiffany in from once in a while. So I do trinkets once in a while. Sometimes I find some small, what I call smalls, or some little trinket boxes or things like that. I will keep an eye out for you for that. If you ever have any questions, I get questions from all of you guys a lot, which I feed the I love when you guys send me the emails and questions about, hey Jen, I picked this up today, what do you think this is? Actually, I just answered Karen's question. If you guys, that's why Karen was making comments about that. She had a little 40 minute breakfast time on Sundays, which I love her little chats. I'm just never up early enough to join it. But I saw her little video today, and she hooked up a few things, and she says, look at this. And she showed this glass necklace. She thought it was purple carved glass. She sends it to me, and I made a comment. I said, Karen, you might want to check that. And I didn't realize that not all of you have presidiums or things like that, but I know that I think she does. So she rechecked, and I said, look inside the glass and see if there's any natural inclusions. And sure enough, she looped it. It's always a good thing to own a loop. If you don't know what that is, this should be one of your friends. You should take this with you everywhere you go. Okay, 10 power loop. Okay, I have one in my purse. I have one here. I've got multiple all over the place. So that, and that was also black light is good to have. Anyway, so I had her look, and sure enough, she finds out it's amethyst. So here's a viewer. So she's a she's here. She can tell you. She says, thank you, Jen. I had no idea. She just picked it up because it was beautiful. And that's what I think. When I tell you guys to go out hunting and searching for things, buy things that you love. Buy things that you say, you look at a case and you say, well, where do I start, Jen? Where do I start? Pick out things that speak to you. What is something that's unique? What's something that is different? What is something that's going to, that I don't see all the time? When sure enough, if you go to her video, you'll see the strand of amethyst, beautiful beads, this necklace, and it's phenomenal. And she says, it was just in the case in her, when she's in Canada. What do you call them again, Karen? You don't call them thrift stores. You call them some type of store, but I forgot what the name she called it. But she found in her local thrift store. So things are out there. It's just you just have to look for and what you think is good, you know. And so the more that everybody kind of interacts with each other in a lot of these chats and sales that we have, I love questions. There's and my father, my belated father, he passed away a few years ago, but he always taught me, Jenny, there's never a dumb question to ask. You may not know the answer, and you can be very upfront with people and say, hey, you know what? Let me get back to you on that. I don't know the answer. But there's never a dumb question to ask because you know what that shows? It shows that people are articulate and they're actually listening and wanting to know more. And so I've always an analogy that sometimes photographs, I don't see the pieces up front in front of me, but I can lead you in a direction to what you can go do some research on. So, for example, if you say, Jen, and Karen sent me pictures of beads and things like that she wanted me to look at. It gives you kind of breaks it down a little bit for you. And then you guys can do your own research and more reading about it and things like that. But I'm here to help you. I think it's a good thing to help each other. I think that we all should try to help each other and not be a competition. But needless to say, I can only speak for myself. Okay. So, yeah. So she knew it was special. She knew it, and she also had another necklace on her channels that she showed about the serpentine and the sponge coral. So it's just one of those things, you guys. I try to be very upfront and honest with you guys, and to be honest that every day is a learning experience. I learn from some of you people in the chat. There's some people here in the chat that I learn something new every day. There's such as Colette is here. She's still here. Christy, who was just here, and Jody, Jody's Jewels. Those three ladies know a lot about turquoise because, well, they're just more into the types of mines they come from. Versus myself, but nothing to say there's always something that I can try to learn every day. So that's how I think about it. There she is. There's Colette. So I'll have to make sure I have to get up here, Colette. I know that Christy shared your channel. Elizabeth, you're here. She's here. She knows a lot as well. Elizabeth K. Hello, Elizabeth. I always forget you, and you're one of my first subscribers on my channel. So Elizabeth has wonderful jewelry. I always forget her, and I always apologize for that. But Elizabeth has some wonderful turquoise. She also gets some other things, really some vintage pieces in. These are people that I trust and love their pieces as well. They're knowledgeable what they're doing. If I can try to help them or they have a question, people email me all the time. That's why if Bruce is still here, he has a running joke that Jen's Gem 24-hour hotline. I'm always open, right? So I usually come home from a hospital job and I have to answer 20 emails. It's not usually 20, but there's a lot of emails that I get during the day. Or Joe will be here and he'll say, or I call up at lunch and I'll say, hey, Joe, what's going on? My husband, and he'll say, oh, so-and-so asked a question. And you guys realize that when I get home at 5, 6 o'clock, needless to say, I'm looking at emails, I'm going to eat dinner with my family, things like that. So I'm here to help you. I will try to get back to you with some answers. And yes, that's right, Colette. That's exactly right. And I picked this paperweight up a few weeks ago when I was out things, and I keep this on my desk. I keep this on my desk. Simple. It's a nice glass paperweight. It's actually an artist signed one. I didn't care, but I just picked it up. It was right around the time where I needed this. I always have love in my life, but sometimes we go through times in our life when you get tested. And I believe that this is a time when this came and it was right there. And I said, I have to buy that. I didn't care. It wasn't that expensive, I'll be honest with you. But I just thought it was really, really meaning to me. And I keep it on my desk all the time because that's why I do what I do. I do things because I love you guys. I try to bring some education to the community and share the knowledge and share the love. That's what I do. At least I try to. There's times when I do have patience and lose my patience like anybody else in the world, but we all learn from things and we all try to move forward. And that's what I try to do. So have a positive attitude and everything else will come in point. So that's right. So in Merce, you're correct. Everybody works together. We all work together to make this a lovely community. And again, I don't know it all. Yes, I have a graduate gemologist background. I worked in the jewelry industry for 26 years. Do I know everything? Heck no. Simple things. I don't know everything. However, that's what we have community for, and we learn from each other, right? And then if not, at least get you on a path to read to, let's say, let me read about what that is. I had actually asked Kirsten a question the other day because she had something on her show. I picked up an item, which I didn't even have it. It's not here yet, but I bought it on an auction. It's coming in. And I didn't remember the term she used. And I did not. And she knew it, but I asked her on a text. I said, tell me. So she told me the answer. I said, it's amazing how she knows that answer. And I thought it was going to take her a day or two to answer it. She's like, no, this is. I said, great. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Good to see you. Well, Katie, that's what's unfortunately, it's bad that things happen like that. But I also look at that good always overpowers evil, no matter what you look at. Hopefully that happens. But you know what? People, as things will happen for a reason, right? Karma, you know what they say? It happens for a reason, and we just move forward. So that's what I try to do. Make it fun. Some people say I explain too much. I guess when I started doing this channel, when my husband, this goes back actually, I'm going to be point frank with you. When we started this, he told me, he says he watched YouTube during COVID. Okay. During COVID, everybody was home. We didn't go out and do things. He looked on looked on YouTube, and he saw a lot of jewelry resellers online, and they're just holding up random things. And they're just saying, isn't this pretty? Isn't this pretty? There's more to know about jewelry than just pretty, I guess. And he says, Jenny, you could add so much to this community to bring your knowledge and your education to everybody. If not, at least get them in the right direction to let them know about what they own. So when they say they're wearing this beautiful, rare, carnelian necklace, Tibetan carnelian necklace that is out of this world, they're not just going to say, oh, they're not glass beads. I mean, because some people might pick this up and say, well, there's nothing to that. Well, if you do your research on it, there is something to that. So I just look at it that way, that, I'm here to kind of get you guys excited about gems and jewelry and things like that. If I highly recommend, if you guys want to go that extra step and take home courses through Gemological Institute of America, I'm not plugging them, but that's who I went to school at. They're world renowned. It's not just in this country, it's world renowned. So hypothetically, if let's say you had a diamond or a colored stone and you wanted to send it somewhere to get it certified, you would send it to that institution. They assess it, then they send you a report with it. Okay. It's assessed by usually at least 5 people, if not more. It's not just one person grading it, right? So it's assessed by 5 people, and they all have to agree upon what they find for the final results. Okay. So I revere my background as a very thorough background. I will say, however, again, I don't know everything. I'm a human being. Okay. So for whatever reason that is, I just look at it this way, that I really highly revere my education background. I was in the jewelry industry after that for 26 years. And then I went back to college and got a degree in healthcare management. So I also know a little more about that as well in healthcare. So about people. And I've learned a lot about people over the years, and just treating people with respect and dignity. And I try to do that. And that's what I do. So, yes, GIA does. I have home courses for teaching. You guys can look up their website, the GIA. I think it's GIA.org or com. I believe it's either one of the two. And they have courses there. So to become a graduate gemologist, you can either go to New York, or you can go to Carlsbad, California, which is near San Jose. I went to school when they were in Santa Monica. So my degree actually says Santa Monica, California. They moved their location to Carlsbad. Now they have dorms and things like that there. So you could go there to and be there on campus to go to classes and things like that. Or some people say, well, that doesn't work with me. I just can't take 6 months of my life and leave home and do everything I do. You can do it homeschool way, where they would actually send you the books and the stones, and they send it to your home, and you can actually grade and do your homework, and then you send it back. So you have to keep sending back and forth to the institution, and they grade your work that way. So it goes on your own pace. So I would highly suggest, and again, you guys can take all the information I give you. or other people sell and give you on their channels and do research on the things. So yeah, so I always let everybody know I'm here to try to bring a little bit more background about stones, hardness, things like that, things that everyday wear. So if you had an opal, am I going to tell you to go shovel snow with your opal on? Heck no, because that opal has no crystal structure to it. Okay, so when you wear it out in the cold, it doesn't like heat changes from cold, hot, cold, hot. And so I will not suggest you wear your opal out gardening or out in the, doing stuff like that. However, could you wear your diamond ring outside? Yeah. So simple things like that. I try to not getting too technical. Okay. But I do know that I do get a lot of feedback from you guys explaining that to. I appreciate the fact that Jenny explains that to us. So I know exactly what to do with it. I know how to wear it. I don't clean it with this. I don't clean it with that, whatever it is. So you guys can always send me a question. I'm happy to answer. So let me go back and check because I know I've been missing a few things. So hi, Leonore. How are you? Hi, Colette. I'm going to make sure I missed anybody. Anybody else I missed come in? Hi, Wendy. Yes, you found me. Yes, you did. Yes, that's right, Merche. Everything, it is great when we learn something new. It's phenomenal when I learn something new. I learn a lot of things from you guys in the chat too. Believe it or not, I go to a lot of chats just to sometimes learn something new. I have to look, Wendy. If you don't mind, though, just can you send me an email to my email at the top of the chat, jensgemsfinds@gmail.com, Wendy, and we'll verify that. Joe will look that up for you. Just send me your information again, and we'll double check. That'll be easier for me. Okay. Thank you, Katie. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Hi, Christina. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, it's called the Gemological Institute of America. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. You got that in the chat. It's expensive. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had a choice. I kind of had the fork in the road, right? So when I decided to do what I wanted to do, when I went to community, I'll tell you a little bit about my past, just because this is chit chat time, right? So, I graduated high school in 1991. Okay. And then I went to my local community college. I ended up getting a scholarship to my local community college because out of 453 people in my high school class, I was number 36. And because I applied to go to my local community college for schooling, they paid for my books and my tuition. So it was basically going for free because I was I wasn't the smartest when I was 36 in the class, but because I applied to go to community college for school, they actually gave me that scholarship, which I'm very blessed for. So from there, I got an associate's of science, and my focus was kind of on geology, right? Because I knew I liked that. I went to my high school geology teacher back in high school, and I said, his name was it was Mr. Matson. He actually, ironically, my sister is 5 years older than me. He was her track coach. So I kind of knew he always called me, my sister's name was kind of a running joke. He would call me Jackie all the time versus Jenny. So it was kind of like, hi, Jackie, how are you? I'm like, no, my name's Jenny, but it's okay. By the time I finished his class, he knew who I was. Anyway, he's the one who actually gave me the booklet to GIA. He actually had a catalog somewhere along the line. He actually had it. And I said, look at this. And he's like, oh yeah, I've heard about, look at this school. And I said, oh, okay. And I always thought that when you go through school that you needed to have a 4-year degree in something in order to have a way to go up the ladder, I guess you'd say. So he says, well, why don't you go down to University of Illinois, which is in Champaign at the bottom of the state. I'm outside Chicago. That's where I grew up, about 25 miles southwest of the city. And I went down there and I talked to the head of the science department. And I said, sir, I want to study geology. And he says, well, this is not a place you need to come. So just imagine that you're walking in, you've made this trip to come down to this college, and they want you to take your money. He said, this isn't the place for you. I said, oh, okay. Well, where do I need to go? He's like, well, you need to go out west. I said, okay. So where do I need to go? And I said, well, he said, probably out to Nevada or New Mexico or someplace out there where they have more of the geology background. Well, at that time, back in the early 90s, oil was a big, huge deal in this country, and they were kind of worrying about women to get into like BP and oil, petroleum, and they were more concerned about at University of Illinois about topographical background, like taking like how to do maps, how to plot lands and surveys and things like that. That's not what I was looking for. So when I actually took the trip with my sister out into New Mexico, um, we visited two colleges out in New Mexico just to see what was out there. Okay. And if any of you guys are military families, you guys have probably ever heard of Clovis, New Mexico. Okay. Clovis, New Mexico actually has a very huge Air Force base out there. It's also home to Eastern New Mexico University. So when I went out there, I went to this college, and on the way driving there, we saw tumbleweeds going across the road. Now, this is out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So, and when we got to the college, we went on campus, and it was almost like walking it back in time. I think nothing against the university. Probably they remodeled it by now, but this goes back to 1993. No, yeah, 92. I'd say 92. And we walked on campus, and it's like walking in your grandmother's basement, I guess is how I can explain it. It was just like you walked in the classroom, and it was like you just smell the mildew. You smell like it was just old. It was an older place. I said, oh, I don't know about this. And so, and then the Howard Johnson Hotel was actually where we stayed. I mean, that just tells you it was out in the middle of nowhere, right? So then we went to University of New Mexico, which is in Albuquerque, which I love the campus. It's a beautiful campus there. And I just got the feeling that, you just know when something fits and doesn't fit. And I just came back from that trip, and I said, oh, it was a beautiful campus and everything, but I just didn't feel like that's what I needed to do. So I decided to then, I was working for, actually at that time, I was working for Zales, right? And you guys all know what Zales is. It's a mall store. They sell jewelry there. And I was doing that as a full-time job. Well, part-time, I was going to school, and then kind of during the summer times, I would bump up my hours and go full-time. And at that time, they actually had a program where you would pay to go to GIA. They would reimburse you. So if you made the trip to go out to become a gemologist, they would actually reimburse you to once you got done. And sure enough, that's when everything kind of happened with that company. Things kind of happened, and I got my degree, came back. They paid me my tuition back, and soon thereafter, I think they filed for Chapter 11. So I was very happy to get done after that. But after that, it was kind of, let's see, what after that, then I started working at another jewelry store. And ironically, my roommate at GIA was also my coworker at the place we worked together. She was also outside Chicago. So it was kind of an interesting dynamic. So people ask me all the time, what do you remember about going to school? I said, there's so much you remember about going to school, because the school at that time was in a building that was under, so much security. You have no idea to get in. It was kind of crazy. So I was also there during, if you guys remember, O.J. Simpson, when the whole infamous O.J. chase happened, his property was like 2 miles north of my apartment building. So when that whole thing went down, you went outside the apartment building, and you could see the helicopters flying around his house at the time when he went back to the house after that whole thing. So it was kind of a surreal time, but I was very happy to finish that. I will tell you one thing: when you take this course, you will literally go home with 60 pounds of books. I had 6 binders. They're here, they're in the garage, but they're about this wide, about 5 inches wide each. Okay, there's 6 of them, so they could take up my whole entire desk, right? They weigh about 60 pounds. So I had to figure out a way to get that home to Chicago, and I had to send that home. But, because when I flew out to California from Chicago, I had basically 2 suitcases in hand with clothes and things like that. So I wasn't prepared to bring home 60 pounds of books. But now, they've traveled with me everywhere I've gone. And so it's kind of a unique thing to do. And you're always learning. And I never got my 4-year degree in geology. So then I was doing that for, like I said, for 26 years. And then I got out of the industry. And then I decided to take a step back, just to try something new. And when I moved to Florida, my mom says, you should probably go back to college and get something degree in something else, just to see if something should fall back on. So that's why I decided to get into healthcare management. So that's the story, guys. That's how you know about me. And then I have 2 children. I have 2 children. My oldest is 20. Well, he'll be 25 next month. And then my youngest will be 20. He's 23. He'll be 23. One lives with me, and the other one lives in California. My oldest son, his name is Colin, and the youngest one is Ethan, and he lives in California. with where his father lives. So Joe and I don't have any children together, but I'm very happy in love with my husband, and we're also business partners. So that's pretty much, hopefully that just explained it all to all of you guys, but I know some of you always wanted to know all that. So, yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing about learning. I've also learned you don't necessarily have to have a degree to know about things in life. Sometimes when you learn less, sometimes you kind of take a fresh look at things, right? But being inquisitive is not a bad thing. It actually shows that you're actually want to take all of the information and decipher it for yourself, right? So you're welcome, Colette. So yeah, Katie, you just have to research it now. You know where you like, for example, I don't know. I haven't been on the website in a long time, to be quite frank with you. I'll be honest. I haven't looked at it for a while. But typically in the United States, unless they've changed it, when I was going, there was 2 locations you could go: Carlsbad, California, which has the campus and also dorms that you could stay at, and then there's New York City, but I believe that they don't have, because it's in downtown New York, it's in the city, that you'd have to find your own way of, unless they have like some type of what do they call those, like a, yeah, what do they call it, living situation. Yeah, I guess what I'm like, so you'd have to do some research on that, Katie. I don't know the whole situation unless they've added a 3rd location, but you'd always, and they also do the homeschooling as well. So, thank you, Karen. It's so sweet. Yep. Yep. Carlsbad in New York. There you go, Katie. So yeah, if you want to dive deeper into that, please do so. I always tell everybody, here's the thing. There's a lot of information out there. However, the best thing that you can possibly do for yourself and for your education is to be hands-on. Simple as that. Okay. Sometimes when you get bombarded with a whole bunch of information, it can be overwhelming. I learn that from my husband every day because he comes sometimes, talks in and talks about financial stuff, and I just I'll get overwhelmed. However, when you have an open mind and you take a step back and you do a little bit of research on your own. So for example, if I was new to gems and gemology, what do? You say, okay, if I took a stone of if you know, for example, you have an amethyst ring and you have something of yourself, then you say, I'm going to read about amethyst. I always want to know about amethyst and what it does. There's different people who want to know about the hardness, technical information. And there's people who want to know about what it does for power and energy. There's people who want to know about the lore of it, historical significance of the stone. There's so many attributes to parts of gemology that you just got to pick what feeds your mind and what helps you. Okay. And then you can add to others, such as when I go into chats, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, by any moderators on YouTube. What I do is I try to put in some pieces of information that you guys would probably think, oh, I did not know that, Jen. I did not know that. Wow, that's something I didn't know. I put pieces out there so you guys can have the information. And then if you guys have any questions about it, you can always email me. You can always do some research on your own. So that's how I kind of go about it. I have got a little bit of feedback about that, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with that. We're all here to help each other. There's people who, again, know more in this chat, in this community than I know. And I'm cool with that. We're here to help. We're here to help each other. If we can't help each other, then what are we doing here? Right? We're doing here because we like to be here. We're showing our passion for jewelry and what the kind of things we go out and look for. So yeah, hopefully, and that's what Bruce is saying. I'm here 24 hours a day. Send me an email. I'll be happy to help you. And you haven't checked out, I mean, these are beautiful. I have to get you guys blue. I will get you before my next thing. I will get you guys blue. Because when people come to my chat, I'm very open armed and show me love. And this is why I have this. Share the love with all of you. Check out these people's channels. Check out what they have to say. And I think Mama T, I know she's not having her show tonight. I call her Mama T, Tanya from My Jewelry Addiction. She has a saying that she's like, you can go to every channel in the world, but you can't physically do that, right? But you're going to pick and choose the ones that you feel like you want to be a part of, right? And so some people might not like me. I'm cool with that. Maybe they don't find me interesting. I can't force them to like me. I can't force them, but you have a choice. That's all I'm saying. So if you choose you want to be accepted, you want to be going to this, you want to do that, go do what you want makes good for you. That's all I say. So, but make sure when you're getting something from somebody that you are asking questions. You have a right to ask questions about anything under the sun, and make sure that you're getting what you are thinking you're getting. That's all I'm going to say about it than that. So, I test everything, as you guys see. Look at my fingers. I will say, I'm not trying to say anything else, but I spent for the last 3 days in this office, between work and this, my fingers, I've been shining jewelry, cleaning jewelry, getting things prepped. I know I sit at this desk. My husband, I literally go to bed every night till 1 a.m. I get home from work. Sometimes I sit at this desk till 1 a.m. So my time is very valuable to me. He also knows that this time right now is valuable to me and you. So he doesn't typically join on these live chats. Not like he doesn't want to, but he also knows that this is my time for me to answer questions for you guys, and I'm accessible. And so you can see that I am a person that has feelings and a heart and a brain, that we all work together. Okay, so thank you, Hannah. That's very sweet of you. And are you new here, Hannah? I don't know whether or not I recognize your name, but if you, I think you are been here before. But I try to be. That's what I try to be, very accessible to everybody, and everybody seems to understand that. Well, yeah, Nancy, that's very sweet of you. And yeah, and that's right, and that's right. Karen just brought up a point. You see where Karen just wrote invoicing at 3 a.m, because after our shows we get done. We usually do 4 or 5 hours on Tuesdays if you guys are here. My husband, I will stay in this office afterwards, cleaning up, getting ready, even being prepped for getting trays ready for the next week, just so it's easier for me. I clear off the desk. So when he gets in this office at 3 a.m, he starts this invoicing process for all your invoices from that previous night. So we work together as a team. And so he's half my heart and my soul of this business, just because this was his idea, quite frankly. And we will be 2 years coming up in July. I think it's July 23rd. You guys have to go to my webpage. I forgot what it was, but I think it's coming up in July. We've been on here in YouTube for 2 years. I'm still learning. There's things I could be doing better. I could be doing more educational videos. I know you guys love my Beggars Beats videos when I did it. But I put a lot of heart and soul and passion on just trying to get product out for you guys to see, as well as I try to give you guys education along the way when we show pieces. But I do know that you guys have been asking me to try to do some more, but sometimes my tank is a little bit has to be filled up. Okay, there's just too much time in the day to do everything. So, but yes, it means a lot to me, and that means a lot. That's why I'm the worst poker player in the world. You guys know I'm very lucky when I go to the casino, but I don't play poker because you guys see the reaction on my face. I'm the worst poker player in the world because I probably really, because I'm so transparent. It's not even funny. So, but anyway, let me grab some water here. Do you guys have any other questions? Yeah, that's right. That's what Karen says. Tell Joe he knows the time the emails come in. And I have to say, for that, in that regard, you guys, just on a personal level, we appreciate the fact that you guys are just in general enjoy the show, enjoy the feedback. I try to take criticism as what it is. Okay, I take positivity. But I don't typically get a lot of criticism. Criticism. I can't even say that word. But when I do, this is me. I can't change myself. I mean, this is the way I am. And I think after almost 2 years, you guys get a sense of who I am. I've changed the set in 2 years. I've tried to be, when I first got on here, I got an email from some lady saying, well, why am I looking at a blank wall? Okay, well, That's where I didn't. Okay, so then I figured, okay, and then I came out and I went out, and you guys can see here. For those of you who don't, let me see if I can do this. Did I just do that? Uh-oh. Did I just lose what I can do here? Oh, here we go. Watch. So when I was out thrifting one day, I found this Asian screen behind me at a thrift store. Okay. And I brought this home, and then this console table was actually in our hallway. And I asked my husband, we had remember those folding bookcases you guys can buy at Target, those little like inexpensive, you guys, if you go way back to the beginning, you'll see my set. It was like, but I didn't care. I said, it is what it is. He says, Jenny, we'll work on that. It's a work in progress. Over 2 years, you're going to figure this out. And that is my graduation cap from when I graduated college when I went back for healthcare. So I brought my gemology. That's my actual cap from when I graduated college in 2019. And I decided to hang that up. And then the mirror you see up there I got that from my sis at T's Jewelry. She has a lady friend that makes those mirrors. I don't know. She hasn't talked about it in a while, and she still, does that. Maybe I should give a shout out to her. But yeah, I mean, over the course of time, you change, right? Everybody changes, and you have to go with what goes on. I just use this analogy. Oh, and I got this really cute card from Dina this week. Look at this card. Isn't this a beautiful card? She sent me this cute little card. It's a little heart, I just like that. She sent me a little note in it, but I put it on my set. But anyway, and like I said, I try to have something for everybody. And if you guys find something on my show, and I will work with you, okay? If you have something, say, Jenny, here's the deal. Whatever reason it is, I will try to work with you, whatever the situation is. I understand things come up in life. I get that. I'm a human being. Things happen. If you want me to send you multiple pictures of something, if you want me to give you the information about something, I will. That's the way I rock and roll. I kid myself to everybody that I the queen of Post-it notes. So everything in these baggies has a Post-it note. Because when I come on air, I'm not sitting here scrambling to find this. I'm not scrambling to find that, because I want to make sure that I know how to tell you everything about what I'm doing. That's why it takes me a long time to get through all these things. So if you ever have a question, say, oh, Jenny, can you tell me what that weight of my necklace that I like, or that I bought was? I can go back to my records and have everything down for you. So anyway, hi, Jody. How are you? Good to see you, my dear. How are you? Do I sell jewelry at the hospital to your coworkers? You know, if the coworkers watch you. Actually, the doctors and the nursing staff do know about me. They actually know that I have this YouTube channel. Some of them aren't in the chat, though, that I do, but they'll ask me for requests. They'll say, Jenny, I'm looking for this. Can you find me this? Or they'll, whatever they're looking for, they'll give me some type of wish list. So it's like you guys do, right? And then I typically sometimes bring it to work and I'll say, hey there, I've got a few things to show you. And they're like, wow, you really know what you have. And I said, well, I try to know and they're like amazed that I actually could get at that either fast or real quickly. I said, if that's something I can find for you, I will. And I actually had a conversation with a nurse practitioner the other day, and she's like, Jenny, I had no idea. I've worked with you now for almost 4 years. Well, I think she's been here 4 years, and she's like, this is the first time I didn't know that you actually you were a graduate gemologist. They knew that I knew about jewelry, but they didn't realize I had the channel. So, and then I went to school. So it's funny because I've actually, on a personal level, because I don't want to give any specifics, but I can say, because of privacy practices and HIPAA, but needless to say, I've had, over the course of 6 years, it'll be 6 years for me in June, I've been at the hospital. Over the course of that time, since June 1st of 2019, when I started, I've got 5 rings off patients. They've come in with jammed fingers, and they're like, how do I get my ring off? Basketball, whatever, falling down, whatever it is. And all these nurse practitioners come in, they'll say, oh, you need to get the string. You got to do the string. I said, no. And I'd shown them to this one day, and I said, where's the Windex? Where is the Windex? And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, get Windex, get coal packs. Those packs that you guys crack and you put like on a cold compress, right? And you go to the hospital and they crack those little bags and you put them on your thing. So get Windex and cold compress. And if you sit there, like for example, if I jam my finger, okay, and I jam my finger, my finger's swollen, right? So first thing what's going to happen is the fluid retention is going to go to your knuckles, right? It's a reaction in your body. So what you want to do is try to get the swelling down. And then what the Windex does, think of Windex as like the slipperiest lubricant on the planet. Plus, if you go to a jewelry store to get your rings clean, what Windex is, it's food coloring and ammonia and water. So what that does is it acts as a lubricant, and then you also cleans your diamonds. So most people come in with a wedding ring on and they don't know how to get it wrong. So you spray your ring through your finger, lubricate it with Windex. And I'm not going to say it's going to just come off like this. It's a matter of time. So they sit in the chair and I start putting bags on people and say, what are you doing? I said, let this. And so sure enough, I've got it off. Because here's the thing, if you have to it does happen. Now I had a patient that had one that he had it on for like 30 days. When you had it on for that long, what happens? Your finger's like this, right? Okay. I can't help that because that happened like 30 days ago. So what they have to do in order to get your ring off, they have to use a saw. It's like a hand saw that they have to cut your shank off. They call this a shank, right? So they would have to cut this off, right? And then they have to bend it. So think of it that way. So I have it off my finger. They cut this off and then they make this like a U, because by you cut it, it's going to come like a U. And so this has now been, what's the word I'm looking for? The integrity of the metal has been compromised when you cut into the metal and you bend the metal like this. Think of it like a drawbridge, right? Okay. And to put it back to where it used to be, you have to start with new metal. So then you'd have to put in a brand new bottom shank to the ring. We call this the shank, right? So with the cost of gold, in this case, well, this is platinum, but you would have to, let me just put this up like this. Hold on. Sorry, I'm having the problem with the camera. You would have to. So in order to put the shank on, you would have to cut from here to here, and they would have to put a whole brand new bottom on the ring, because if you cut this, even though it's like a U, because this is there's no strength there, because you start bending it, it would be very brittle. So with cost of gold being over about 30, was it 3,200 or 34? I don't know where it is as of today, but I think it's $3,400. You're going to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to put a reshank on. So needless to say, when I have people in the emergency room and I sit there and I'll say, just be careful, and I understand they're in pain. I got it, and they're trying to, I said, just sit, we'll try to calm down. I said, just kind of work it. Just kind of work it. Just kind of work it. Put the cold pack on. More Windex. Work it. Work it. I've got it done 5 times. I probably saved these people probably at least anywhere from about $800 to $1,500 for a ring job, because some of those are like wedding rings, right? Like thick ones, So, and they're like, Jenny, nobody's ever explained it to me like that. I said, so I'm like Magic Jen. I guess kind of get people's rings off in the emergency room. So the nurse practitioners are like, where do you learn this stuff? I said, I learned over the course of time. This is life. Like everybody in the chat here probably has their own little how-to helpful Heloise. Remember that lady? She used to write a book. Was it Helpful Heloise, with all the things remedies you could do? I don't know. That's just something I learned over the course of time. So, all right, let me see. Who did I miss? Yep, Windex gets them off every time, right, Amy? That's right. How you doing, Jody? You had a great sale the other night, my dear. Good to see you. Hi, my Captiva. How are you? No, I'm by myself, so I'm doing this kind of what it is. Oh, there you go. So Joni knows. So she's just in dentistry, so she knows about cutting off rings and things like that. Yeah. So that's just a little. It doesn't work all the time because every situation is different. But if you guys have Windex, and it does do a good job. And everybody asks, have you seen that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, when the lady was spraying Windex everywhere? It's kind of an inside joke, but that's what that is. But yeah, so that's it's kind of nice to bring 2 tracks of my educational background to the emergency room sometimes. Just as much as I try to talk to people on a more full level, I'll say, For example, if I come across a teacher, if I come across a veteran or something like that, I'll say, thank you for what you do. And you'd be surprised how people reaction to when I say that to them. They're like looking at them like, what do you really? You care? I said, of course I care. Because if you didn't do what you did, we wouldn't be where we are in this country. And you're the people who teach our kids. So they're like, anyway, it's a simple thank you that goes away. I try to be transparent about that. I mean, and that's if you see me out in public, I act the same way, just like I am out in the grocery store. I'll say, you want to hold the door open? Somebody's coming out through the door. Let me hold, or wherever it is, I'll say, wow, thank you. You actually care. I said, because there's people who don't, you guys know me that well. So, yes, you're exactly right, Amy. They do. And every jewelry store is they just rebrand Windex. That's exactly true. Yep. I don't know when she's going live. Is she on yet? She's probably waiting for me to get off of here so she can go sell jewelry. So I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. This is probably too much longer, but I wanted to spend the time. I feel like sometimes I am so I know I try not to take too much time from everybody else. But let's go over to Dina's channel. Bruce, if you don't mind. Oh, you're going to check? Okay, he's going to check and see if she's probably waiting for me to get off. I mean, let's be honest with you. She's probably waiting for me to get off. Hi, Tama. How are you? Good to see you. And all you people, I don't know if everybody here in the chat is registered. So when I have my live sale come Tuesday, if you don't mind sending me an email to jensgemsfinds@gmail.com, your information. I do giveaways on my show. We do have very interactive, fun times, just like most of these other people, resellers you see in the chat. I try to make things very fun, and we try to have a good time. And again, you did? Oh, you did. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. It means a lot. I do, like I said, I have things here that you don't see behind the scenes. Like I said, my hauls usually turn into, let's look at some jewelry for a little bit, and then we do this chit chat. This is a little bit longer than I usually talk, but some of you don't know my whole background, and I haven't really explained it maybe to everybody in the course of 2 years. But this is my time. Joe lets me chat because during the live sale, he says, because I got to keep going, So this is the time where he lets me go have time with you guys. So, all right. Does anybody have any other questions? Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off. Or you guys can go over to Dina's. She's probably going to wait, like I said, to go on. Have you had I had 23 people here and 23 thumbs up. Hopefully I had more than that, but I appreciate the love. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It's free. All you have to do is go to the top of the page and hit the bell icon and hit all notifications. That way you get notified when I do these pop-up live sales. I usually do these on Sundays. So that gives you guys time for 2 days prior to my sale. So you guys can ask questions in any of the pieces I showed for Tuesday's sale, as well as if you see anything in the back of the background and say, Jenny, tell me something about these, I'm just going to pick Tasco bracelets, Larimar bracelets. I can bring these up during the show. These are things I've already shown before. Okay. I just decorate my set with jewelry. What kind of life would you not have if you didn't have decorations of jewelry all around? I just love it. I told Joe, I said, when I did my channel, I said, I want to have the jewelry speak to you. I want all you guys to see the jewelry. That's what you're here to see. And, learn some stuff too and have some fun. That's what I wanted to do. And hopefully I'm doing that for you guys too as well. So you're welcome, Christy. Yes, I'm still chatting. Hi, Froggy. How are you? But yeah, you don't know Dina's link. Can somebody who's Blue Wrench, can you guys share that girl Dina Marie's link for me? Can you guys do that for me? One of you in blue. I'm going to have to add some more people in blue here. It's that girl, Dina Marie. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you haven't checked out Ladies Who Loop, if you haven't checked out Jody's Jewels, if you haven't checked out Bruce's channel, Bruden's Treasure Chest, he has a sale tomorrow night. He does a lot of costume pieces. Finally, he was at the flea market and bought 5 hours. He was shopping. Him and Dennis were shopping for 5 hours. I couldn't believe it. I said, good for him. He says they stocked up. There we go. So there's everybody's going to click on that girl, Dina Marie. I don't know if she's on yet, but she will be on because she wanted me to have my live sale, or not my live haul. And then she's going to do tonight, she's going to have a blowout costume. It's just going to do mostly earrings. between clip earrings and pierced earrings, but I know she's got Swarovski crystal. She's got some other things in there along the way, but she's trying to blow out a whole bunch of inventory that she's got. So if you're looking for some really fabulous costume, I'm going to go over there in a little bit after I get a little bit of something to eat. And we'll see you guys Tuesday. I can try to answer some questions along the way. If you've got any emails, send me an email. I'll answer all your questions. So like Bruce says, I'm open 24 hours a day. Whether or not I get to it right away is another story, but I will get to you as soon as I can. All right. She was on Colette. She's doing another thing tonight. Apparently she had a regular time slot today, and now she's going to do a pop-up sale after I did my live haul. She was very kind enough to let me talk with you guys for a little bit. And then she's going to do, she was going to rest a little bit, and she was going to come back on to do her costume jewelry. And I know that you guys I don't want to take any time away. I've been talking a lot tonight as my voice is gone. So, all right. You're welcome, you guys. Hopefully you got a little bit more insight about me and what we do here. Hope you guys can come back for Tuesday. And again, if you cannot be here, don't fret. Life is short. Send me an email. Say, I like such and such piece. Can you tell me about it? And you can always leave me a silent bid. Okay. That's how we do it here. Real simple. We will see you. Hello, Sunray. I didn't say hello to Miss Sunray. Where did you sneak in here, my girl? Nice to see you. I'm just going to give you guys, like I always do at the end of my lives, I like to thank each one of you here in the chat. I'm going to go down the list as much as I can. If I forget your name, please don't hold me against me. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Sunray. Thank you, Marche. Thank you, Colette. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Froggy. Thank you, Tama. Thank you, Mike Ativa. Who did I miss? Bruce. Thank you. Was Kirsten here? I think Kirsten might have been here. Suzanne was here. Thank you. Thank Roberta. Let's see. Let me scroll up the word. Let's see. Who did I miss? Right. Christina, how can I miss Christina? She's one of the best mods. She's not my mod, but she's a very good moderator. And Lorraine, what's her name? I can't think of her name now. I'm having a moment. Hannah, thank you, Hannah. Leonore. For some reason in my mind, Leonore, again, sometimes this brain can only work so much, but I want to call you Loretta. So that's like what I call when Yippee-I-Yo comes in. I can never remember her name, so I just call her Yippee. So bear with me a minute. So if I have that's why I call her Yippee. Karen, thank you so much. As Wendy, thank you. Who else did I miss? Did I miss who am I missing, you guys? Tell me if I'm missing anybody. Tell me I missed you. Sunray, of course. And we're all going to go check Dina out. And you guys have a wonderful couple days, and I'll see you on Tuesday afternoon, 1 p.m. Central. If you're new to my channel, we're on Central Time here in Panhandle, Florida. That's where I'm at. So we're on Central Time. So if that means you're on the East Coast, it's 2 p.m. your time. If you're on West Coast, it's 11 o'clock. Okay? Have a good night. See you later. And send me an email if you've got any questions, okay? Take care.